Here we go.
Live, brother. How you doing tonight?
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Good to see you as
What's
always.
going on? What's going on? Let me get some light on the subject here tonight, because it's a little dark up in here, you know?
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
How's your evening, brother?
Doing well, man. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm doing wonderful. Wonderful. Cannot complain at all. Not in at least a little bit. So about my post earlier today, I put a post on Facebook. I posted. Brother, how you doing tonight? I posted something about that. If you don't have a mask, don't come around me if you don't live in my house.
I feel you. I mean, I understand that too. You know, I kind of feel the same way at times, man. I mean, particularly around people who you have no clue who they are. You don't know where they've been, and hey, man, it's just a matter of protecting yourself at all times. Now, that's what it boils down to. So
yeah, indeed. You know, so I think I got debating with somebody. I'm gonna leave him nameless for right now, just because I like the brother. He's a good brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I didn't want people to start attacking him because, you know, I grew up with the brother. He's a really good dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the Intermittent Fasting Show, the Night Brothers Intermittent Fasting Show. How y'all doing out there tonight?
Hey, Cheryl Hunt. Hey, Joanne Jennings. How you doing? Jenkins, how you doing?
Got the ladies jumping up tonight. Joanne.
Yeah, good to see y'all. Hope both y'all had a great day. We got an exciting show planned for you guys. I hope everybody gets a chance to check this out. There's a lot of good information we're going to be sharing tonight, and at the same time, we want to entertain you as well. So I hope you don't mind.
We always will do that, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Cheryl,
how was your weekend?
Q, how was your Memorial Day weekend? Did you do any grilling or anything?
Oh, man, mine was low key, but it was cool, though. It was cool. You know, I mean, I enjoyed it. Nevertheless, I enjoyed it. I will say I enjoyed it, so.
Night by night, Intermittent Fasting Show. Every Tuesday night we do this, 8 p.m. Q. Did you do any grilling, brother?
Just a little bit. Hey, man, I tell you, I was telling folks the other day, I just ordered a brand new grill, and it won't be in until next Tuesday. I think it'll be in. So once that comes in, woo, then I tell you, it's going to be crazy then, because I'm going to be doing some serious grilling then.
We're going to have to do a fast and then come up there and break that joint in and knock that joint out with some, you know.
Yeah.
Vibes or something, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. Excited today. You got a nice show. It's okay to hit some likes, give some love.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, my brother? Good to see you as well.
Sean Strain out there. All right. What's up, Sean? What's up, brother? Okay.
I had a good conversation with him the other day. Very, very good conversation with Sean.
Is that right? Okay, yeah. Cool. Hey, Q, Sean can sing too, man.
Oh, get out of here. Sean, you a vocalist? All right, brother.
A hell of a vocalist.
Okay, so I'm going to have to get with that brother then.
Yes, sir. He was in a group back in the day. Distinction, I think, was the name of his group.
Okay, cool.
They used to tear it up in the DC market, you know.
Lenny Rice, what's going on, nephew? Good to see you, brother. Hey, Lenny Rice, I want to give you some big love, some big props too, man. You're doing some good things out there, brother. Just keep it up, man. From your fasting aspect and from some of the stuff you're doing from your job, you know, as a work perspective too, man. I'm proud of you, man. Just want to say that.
No doubt. So the Intermittent Fasting Show.
Much love.
Hey, nephew, what's up? Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here. It's either on my Facebook page or either on my brother's Facebook page. It depends on how Facebook is acting each night because, you know, it's very temperamental. So let me introduce you to the show's host, my brother, Equavian Knight, the oldest of the two of us. You can see, man, I don't know if you knew Quavy before these pictures right here, but damn, that's a different person. You know what I mean? That's just a different person. I mean, it's like I got a new brother or something. We got a third brother, you know what I mean? An extra brother or something. But he's been intermittent fasting for 1 year. Amazing. Protocol 20, his favorite protocol is the 20-hour fast, the 4-hour feeding window. Why do you like that that's set up so well, Q? How do you like? Why do you like that protocol so much?
Well, doing the additional 4 hours to get me to 20 hours, it gives me more fat burning time. And actually, in true honesty, I find that I'm not as hungry as I was in the past. So getting to 20 hours is like a breeze, man. I'm not ready to eat till around that time anyway.
Yeah, you know what? I understand you on that completely. Now, are you still doing exercise 4 or 5 times a week?
No, I'll be honest with you, nowhere near as much, man. I mean, particularly, like I said, I haven't been to the gym. None of us has really been to a gym, but I haven't touched the weight in 3 months. But I do walk several. Whenever I'm off, I'll try to get walks in, and I might do push-ups here and there. But I don't exercise. I'm not a hardcore exercise guy because fasting does the majority of the work for me now. So, and Lenny Rice, hold on, I want to give a shout out to Lenny Rice. Lenny Rice said he's lost 15 pounds.
Oh yeah,
and come on, I gotta give it up. Let's give it up for the brother, man. 15 pounds, man, and it's still going.
No doubt. And I'm gonna highlight him in a second here.
Yeah.
Joe Cobb, what's up?
How you doing? Angie Porter, how you doing? Joe Cobb, how you doing?
Roger Parker, what's up, my brother? Class.
What's going on, Roger Parker?
1978, class of 78, baby. Waving lead out there tonight.
What's going on, brother?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Cheryl says she tried the 21 hour the other day. Woo!
Good job, Cheryl. Good job.
Working it. Yep. I see some people out there. Wanda Powell, definitely see you. Thanks for joining in again. So Q definitely does the carnivore diet. He's and does not drink alcohol, does not smoke, and most impressive to me is no medication.
I love that part of it, brother. And I want to introduce my co-host and my little brother and my best friend, Lenny Knight. Now, the thing about Lenny is just, Lenny will help any and everybody. In the last year, he's lost 45 pounds. He's been intermittent fasting for 2 years. His favorite protocol is the same as mine. He likes the 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window. Lenny, explain why you like that.
Same as you. I mean, I started off 16-8, but then, I wasn't as hungry as much. So I started extending it to like 18 hours fasting and 6-hour eating window. Then I gradually went up to the 20 hours, 4. And then, now sometimes it's just one meal a day,
Yes, I do OMADs a lot of times too. And Lenny, you still exercising. I see you out there running sometimes. So tell us about your exercise.
Mostly since the gym is closed, I've been jumping into this jogger, what I mean? Like the other day, I went berserk. I was running. I was Forrest Gump the other day. I woke up, I ran 3 miles, started cleaning the yard and all kinds of stuff. Still had energy and then wound up running 5 more miles, Q. I was tired.
Jesus Lord, brother. So tell them what you told them what your diet was like, and that you're once again you're on no prescribed medications as well, which is a great thing.
Absolutely, man. Thank God for that. Hopefully we keep it this way.
Yeah.
Intermittent
Fasting show. We're here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. and we'd like for you to like and share. Right now, what we want to do right now is we want to give some love to some of what we consider our pros, folks who've been on the program now for, some of them for a couple of months and are having great success. Cheryl Hunt. Let's give some love to Cheryl Hunt.
Give some love up to Cheryl.
For Tori Walton, who's been doing a great job. For there she is right there. For my buddy and my other little brother, Keith Colbert.
Give it up for Keith Colbert.
Much love for you, Keith. And for this sister who's adopted this lifestyle and has done so for a long time. She's not new to this game, but she lives this lifestyle. My friend Paris Lane, and her and I go way back. And when I say way back, I mean way back to elementary.
No, give her some likes and give all of them some likes and love.
Give all of them some love. Give all of them some love.
Give these people some love. Paris is one heck of a female vocalist as well. Another musician.
Yes, she is. Yes, she
super
is.
Talented. So
yeah.
But Q,
I want to say hello to Flower Blossom. How you doing tonight? I hope everything is well with you.
No doubt, no doubt. JT House, I see you out there, brother. Thank you.
And Roger said he's walking with the 50-pound weight vest on, brother. You getting it in, Roger? I mean, I see you, brother. You be out there grinding.
Roger is killing.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Hey, you know what I was thinking? You know what we really need to do? We need to get us, you and I, Roger, Armand, Alex, Poopy Harris, And all of us together, we need to do a walk together. We need to do a walk together.
You know what? Let's plan that out. Let's talk to all.
Yeah, Roger. We're gonna plan that out, man. We're gonna all do one together, man.
We get half of Annapolis out there. Maybe we can do some type of charitable event to help people that, going through this struggle during this time.
Yep. So Roger, you might help put that together so we can pull that off. And Roger, like that? Another one, he said he's on no medications as well. So y'all
like that idea about a walkathon for Annapolis? Just type yes in the chat group.
No question about it. Keith Colbert, how's my little brother doing?
Hey, look, I've got some newbies that we want to shout out that start intermittent fasting last week, Q.
Oh, yes. Which that's a beautiful thing.
My son, Leonard Delaney Knight, and his wife, Ashley Brown Knight, and my best friend, Miss Joanne Jenkins.
That's my girl. Hey, Joe, that's my girl.
Also got my nephews out there, Q.
Lenny Rice.
Got Sean Strain out there.
Yes,
he
sir.
Jumped into the protocol last week. And then Carlos called me up. He said, I can't be letting Lenny get small, and I'm not getting small. So both the nephews out there.
That's great. That's the great thing.
Get some likes and loves for these folks as they jump in.
Man, give them some love, y'all. Come on, let's give them some love, man. They deserve it. They deserve it. These guys have decided they wanted to change their lifestyles, Lenny. And, so I got much props for them and much love for them.
Me too, man. I mean, it's not an easy thing. And don't give up, fellas and ladies, as you go through this. Look, we just stumbled and fell a few times. So, you'll go through it. Just keep getting back on it the next day and the next day. But congratulations to y'all.
No question about it.
So, Q, the question is, who's next?
Oh, yeah.
Who's next out there? Anybody out there? Anybody? You? How about you? You want to be, who out there?
I want to lose 30 pounds.
Huh? How about
want to lose 40 pounds?
How about 85 like you?
all of it's possible. All of it is possible. Believe me.
So if that's you, just type your name in the comments and say, I'm next. Just put I'm next in the box, and we'll make sure that we can feature you next week when we do that. So.
Once again, we ask you to like and to share and subscribe. Guys, all we're trying to do is get the message out. So please give us some likes and loves and share this video, because if we can make this go viral, more people will learn about intermittent fasting, and that will help create a stronger community for us and better overall health for everybody. Everybody. And that's our goal. Let me talk a little bit about this Zero Fasting app.
I used this app. I stumbled across it when I was starting to do the fast. I just wanted to track the results better and do some things. So I Googled something. Went to the Play Store, and I found this app, Zero app. And then I seen Lenny Rice start using it. And I started doing what he did when I broke my fast. I started taking pictures of what I was breaking my fast with. And it's just a good overall tool to kind of track how many hours you're going and your results and how many fasts you're doing over a few weeks or a month's time. So I really like that app. So try that out, ladies and gents, when you do that. Now, Q, we're ready to talk about fasting, but let's talk about the past for a second. What was your nemesis on here?
Oh my God! When I'm looking at this picture right now, man, I'm blown away because look, I see we have Chick-fil-A on there, we have McDonald's, we have Papa John's, we have Burger King, we have Popeyes, we have KFC, we have Chinese takeout. And to be honest with you, the only of everything on here, the one I liked the least was McDonald's, but I think my number one nemesis of this group here would probably be Chick-fil-A. I'd say number one.
Chick-fil-A? Okay, Chick-fil-A. You know what? Sandwich, three of these resonate with me because we used to live out Boston Heights. We used to cut up through Bowman Court and go through Baptist Garden.
And Roger remember that. I know Roger remember that.
Roger, you remember? You used to go down a little back way. And then when you came out, you was by Burger King.
Yeah.
McDonald's was right across the street. And KFC was next to that.
Yep.
But if I had to choose one of them, I would say number 2. Because which one was y'all favorite one? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said number 2 because after all the Annapolis High games, and this was back in the day, I'm going back. We used to go out to McDonald's and we used to crowd that joint.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
That was the hangout, brother. That was the hangout.
Who remember that? Who remember that?
Yeah.
So Q, look, we're gonna have a little flashback to last week because
Okay.
you know, success is definitely built on your mindset.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, my brother.
So let's flash back to last week because before you can really get into all this and get out of what we just showed with all of those fast food joints, you got to really get your mind right if you're going to do this. So I encourage everybody that's starting this protocol, that's going to jump into this, you know, be all in with it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yes.
If Q can do it, so can I. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no question
Ain't
about
no
it. Man.
quit in me.
Matter of mindset. Mindset.
Very, very important. Dorian Cook, thanks for joining us. Lonnie Rice said number 2 and number 6, so he was a Mickey D's too.
Yeah. And Flower Blossom said number 5 for her. So that was her, that was her big hit right there.
That's what it was called. Keith Coleman said it was called Backtrack. That's what it was.
That's what it was called. Backtrack.
No doubt, no doubt. So
Yeah.
let's jump into what we got going on tonight. Tonight's shows, we got 3 themes that we want to talk about, Q.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you hit number 1?
Number 1 was, how does this really work? You know, we talk about fasting all the time, but we want to break down the nuts and bolts for you so you really have a true understanding of just how it works. And when you understand how something works, you're more apt to want to buy in and go with it and run with it. So this is what we want to talk about tonight.
All right, that's number 1 topic. Number 2 topic, Q. Break that down for us, please.
Yes, sir. Tonight's second topic is we're going to talk about an amazing transformation. And it's a case study of a doctor who implemented intermittent fasting. And you see his before picture, and wait till you see what he looks like now. And this is a physician we're talking about. So that's going to be number 2, a case study.
Cool. And the third subject that we're going to go over tonight, oh man,
this is a big one right here.
What's
Myths about eating. Things that we were taught, that we were always taught, this is the way you're supposed to do things. But look at the results we've gotten. Obesity is at an all-time high. Even our children are obese. So was your mama right?
And most of the stuff, we talking about the same mama. You gotta be careful, woman.
Yes, sir, we can't, look, don't be talking about mama.
So yeah, was your mama right? All of our mamas were the first ones that really taught us about nutrition. So we're going to examine that a little bit and challenge some of the myths that's out there. So I don't mean talking about my mother, especially not my own. But Q, gotta hit the basics first. Why don't you break some of this down?
Oh yeah, we always like to go over the basics because we always have new people every week. We have new people joining. So we like to make sure that they have a baseline of knowledge at least as we move forward. And we do talk about intermittent fasting as a whole. Now, the thing about intermittent fasting, you want to select a protocol. Your fasting window. Oh no, I'm fasting. I don't want to eat now. And your eating window. Y'all remember the episode of Martin?
He's a fool.
Martin is a fool, man. So yeah, you want to fast for a beginner. We always recommend starting a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. That's the beginning protocol we recommend for most people. And we find that to be the most sustainable for most people. And that's the whole goal and agenda, to have people be able to sustain this. There's also an 18-hour fast with a 6-hour feeding window, which extends the fat burning. And we'll talk about that a little later. And then there's a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window, which is what I'm using basically every day now for the most part. And then there's OMAD, 1 meal a day, which is where I started, that I don't recommend for anybody starting there. No, but it was where I started because I was just gung-ho about it. And I wanted to get results like that, which allowed me to do.
You don't want people to quit. You know,
no, we want something that's sustainable. That's why we always want people to start with the 16 and 8, because we find they can ease into that transition a lot easier than trying to jump into OMAD, 1 meal a day right away.
Yes, indeed. So Q, does this really work? Let's talk about number 1.
That's the big question.
Let's talk about subject number 1 tonight. So to help us to do that, Q, I'm going to play a little short video. It's about a minute long.
And I want you guys to pay attention to this video because there's some good knowledge being dropped here. And we're going to talk about it afterwards.
Intermittent fasting refers to eating plans that alternate between fasting and eating periods. The goal is to systematically starve the body long enough to trigger fat burning. While research is still underway and the method may not be suitable for everyone, there is evidence that when done correctly, intermittent fasting can help lose weight, lower blood pressure and cholesterol, prevent or control diabetes, and improve brain's health. During a meal, carbohydrates in food are broken down into glucose. Glucose absorbs through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream and is transported to various organs, where it serves as the major energy source. Excess glucose is stored for later use in the liver and adipose tissue in the form of glycogen and fats. In between meals, when the body is in the fasted state, the liver converts glycogen back to glucose to keep supplying the body with energy. Typically, an inactive person takes about 10 to 12 hours to use up the glycogen stores, although someone who exercises may do so in much less time. Once the reserve of glycogen in the liver is depleted, the body taps into energy stores in adipose tissues. This is when fats are broken down into free fatty acids, which are then converted into additional metabolic fuel in the liver. Thus, if the fasted state lasts long enough, the body burns fat for energy and loses that extra fat. Losing the extra fat is translated into a range of associated health benefits.
So Q, now look, that went into a lot of detail and a lot of technical terms, but here's the thing, folks. If you're going to do this, you need to start slowly learning some of these terms and some of how the science works behind this, because you will have your most success. And I think what we're trying to do, Q, if you correct me if I'm wrong, we're trying to get people to learn their learning curve a lot faster, because you and I did a lot of trial and error trying to study this and figure this out.
Yes.
So why don't you talk a little bit about these couple things that the video just hit on?
Yeah, we want to break it down and make it a little simpler for you. Intermittent fasting is it's an alternating fasting and eating periods. Like I said, an involuntary giving up of food is what it breaks down to. You alternate periods where you're fasting and periods where you eat. And by alternating time periods, it triggers that magic. And that magic is the fat burning. And some of the benefits of that, most notable one, is weight loss. It's just going to happen, guys. It's science. Another benefit, it's going to lower your blood cholesterol, your blood pressure, and your cholesterol, which is always a good thing. It will make you healthier overall. It's going to improve your brain function, allow you to think more clearly and focus better. And this is a big one here. It's been medically proven now to help control diabetes, and we're gonna go into that as a topic as a whole later on down the road.
That's a powerhouse right there, Q. That's
yes, being able to control type 2 diabetes through intermittent fasting. Oh my God! Like I said, we're going to talk about that in depth in a future show.
Q, we got a couple people that joined. I want to recognize Kim Mako, Rodney Barnes, Debbie Wilkerson. How you doing out there?
How you doing, Debbie? Happy anniversary to you.
Happy anniversary to you and Craig. And Zeta Garland just joined in, and Lenny Rice says that he recommends doing a sun down to sun up to start because it's a lot easier. I definitely agree with you, nephew.
Yes, but you want to, but eventually you want to build yourself up to a 16-hour minimum of as fast as you can, because doing the sun up to sundown, it's a good starting point, reference point, getting your body used to that type of thing, but you don't get the full effects and benefits of intermittent fasting until you reach around at least 16-hour fasted period.
And so we're going to break some of that down as well. So that's a good segue. Q, why don't you talk about the science of what they just covered in that video?
Yes. See, the thing is, whenever we eat, all our meals are break down into glucose, and glucose is used to give the body energy. It's what our bodies run off of. And if we eat excessively, the extra glucose is stored in our bodies, guys, and it's stored in our liver as adipose. Adipose is simply stored fat. Stored fat is all it is, okay? So as we eat, that food goes to our liver. While you're fasting, this is what your liver looks like. And it takes usually around, Lenny, how long does it usually take? It says anywhere, your liver uses up that initial glucose in about 10 to 12 hours to burn off that food. And if you exercise, it might burn it off even faster. It might burn it off in 8 to 10 hours. But after you burned off that food that you've eaten, then your body has to look for another source of energy. and it goes to that stored fat. And that's why going beyond 12 hours is so important, because then you move into fat burning mode. It starts after that 12th hour. And after that 12th hour, you're starting to burn fat. And that's where the weight loss kicks in. At 16 and 8, you get about 4 hours of fat burning, which is good. But the longer you fast, the more fat burning you get. At 18 and 6, you're getting 6 hours. At 20 and 4, you're getting 8 hours, and so on and so forth. And when your body becomes fat adapted, Lenny, you want to talk about that?
Yep, it could start in the 10th hour. So what do we mean by becoming fat adapted is your body gets used to this process. So it doesn't, it doesn't take as long for it to burn off that glucose that goes from the liver before it jumps over to start using your fat. That could actually start at the 10th hour, maybe the 9th hour instead of the 12th hour.
Correct.
So that's huge when you learn that.
Yep.
But insulin plays such a huge role in this whole dynamic cue that I got to show a quick little
Insulin is the
video.
hormone required for driving glucose into cells. Insulin level is regulated to match the amount of glucose in the blood, that is high after a meal and low between meals. Because insulin is secreted after each meal, eating throughout the day keeps insulin levels high most of the time. Constant high insulin levels may desensitize body tissues, causing insulin insensitivity, the hallmark of prediabetes and diabetes type 2. Fasting helps keep insulin levels low, reducing diabetes risks. Fasting also has beneficial effect on the brain. It challenges the brain the same way physical or cognitive exercise does.
So Q, this is a funny slide, but insulin is really not a joke. I mean,
no, it's not. It's really
insulin, not. I mean, insulin just for your overall health. And if you really are going to take this challenge on, this lifestyle on, because I hate to call it a diet, it's some real key points about insulin that must be learned. And the one thing is that insulin is a hormone that regulates the glucose baseline levels. Now we're gonna break that down for you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we're gonna dumb it down, as they say.
Yes, sir. God, make it simple. Make it simple. You know, get it where it goes, so you can go get it. You know, it fluctuates between meals is what insulin does. So after you eat a meal, your insulin is going to spike upwards. It means it's going to go high. And if you see the graph right here, see where the red and the purple lines go up, then they come back down for lunch. It goes back up after you eat, and it comes back down for dinner. That's what insulin does when you eat, or right after you eat. Now, after digestion, the levels usually lower quite a bit. And you see how like that straight line right there before you hit lunch, like, so if you miss your breakfast, then you know your insulin levels stay lower, and that's what we call baseline. And if you skip a meal, which intermittent fasting does, yeah, they skipped out on breakfast, then that helps this process to go even faster. And this is what we call returning to baseline. So when we use that term, we're just merely talking about how your insulin level lowers. This is so important with intermittent fasting, because if your insulin is always spiking, you never can get into a mode that we call ketosis, where fat burning starts to take place at. And Q, we're gonna go to the next slide that really kind of helps break down some more key points about insulin. Why don't you tackle that?
Absolutely. You know, without raising your insulin, you rarely get a chance to be at baseline. And like I said, we always talk about being at baseline. And as Lenny just stated, being at baseline is so important, because that's when some of the magic really starts to happen for your body. When you get your insulin levels at baseline, that's when the fat burning process starts. But it also, this makes it difficult to store fat. If you're going to be at baseline all the time, you won't be storing fat. But the opposite end of that spectrum is if your insulin levels are always raised, that could lead to diabetes. It does lead to type 2 diabetes, and it leads to weight gain. And that's why some people have so much difficulty in losing weight, because their insulin levels are always in a raised state. And you really can't burn fat in that mode. And they struggle. They think they're doing everything right. They exercise, they're doing this and that. But because the nutrition part of it is not in place, they have a struggle with losing weight.
Q, that's
science, guys. I always say it's just science.
Q, that's an excellent point you just made about, you know, getting your insulin levels right. And because if your insulin level's not right, like you said, you can be doing everything. And I know this because I did this. I was
Yes,
exercising,
same here.
doing so much, and I still couldn't really lose no weight. I still, was jacked up and, had symptoms in my body, palpitations, just all kinds of ailments, inflammation in the knees and everything. And it was because my insulin wasn't right.
Yes.
That's why it's so important that we harp on this point there. Cassandra, thanks for joining on. Eddie Bryan, what's up, boy? I got my man Eddie Bryan on tonight. I love it, love it, love it. Brian
Good
Brown,
to have you guys here. Good to have you.
So Q, let's take some basics and look at what intermittent fasting is. Really, really basic stuff just for some folks.
There are several approaches to intermittent fasting, but the easiest to achieve is perhaps the one that simply extends the usual nighttime fast. A daily cycle of 16-hour fast followed by an 8-hour eating window is usually sustainable. For intermittent fasting to be safe and effective, it must be combined with balanced meals that provide good nutrition. It is important to stay hydrated and know your physical limits while fasting. The fast must be broken slowly. Overeating after fast, especially of unhealthy foods, must be avoided.
So, I mean, that's some simple stuff, Q, but
Oh, yes.
for a new beginner, it might not be so simple. So why don't you just talk about some other keys to consider?
Yes. I mean, when breaking your fast, you want to eat a sensible meal. We always say this, particularly you want to start off with something lighter anyway to begin with. I always, like I said, I start with soup or salad or something like that when I first break my fast, or even like a protein shake, something like that, or a nutrition bar. And then I'll gradually go up to eat the other stuff. And you want to stay hydrated. You want to drink plenty of water. I mean, you see me drinking water now, even during my fasting window or my eating window, I always have plenty of H2O, and that's good. A lack of water can actually slow your progress. So make sure you guys are drinking water and staying hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny, you want to talk about exercise?
Yeah, moderate exercise. Now, you intermittent fasting, you don't really need to go all out and exercise like you're an athlete or like you're training or you're competing for some type of level. That's really not necessary when you're intermittent fasting.
That's true. That's true.
Because I always say, it's 80-20 rule. It's more 80% dietary and 20% exercise that really gets you the results that you want to. And Q, you talked about this, breaking the fast.
Yes.
Light and slow. That's why I do smoothies. You see me doing smoothies on Facebook, that type of stuff, because it really kind of helps me ease into it. Don't forget, when you fast, you're fasting for 16 hours, 20 hours. What you're doing is you're really like shutting down your digestive system. Your intestines.
Giving it a chance to rest is what you're doing. Giving that digestive system a chance to rest.
Right. So when your digestive system, your intestines are not working, you can't shock them by throwing a steak in there. You know what I mean? That's too much. No.
Yeah, no, they're making it work overtime. You're gonna make it work overtime all of a sudden.
Yeah, you got to ease back into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like riding a horse, riding a bike.
Yeah.
So next, number 2, we told you we was going to do this transformation of this guy, and this thing right here is very informative.
Yes.
And it's really going to give you a lot of information about this guy. This guy was 30 years old. His name was Kevin, and he was definitely 3 bills, Q.
And he's a physician. He's a doctor.
Mm-hmm. So let's check out his story and see what he's talking about.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kevin Gendro, and this is the story of how I lost 125 pounds with intermittent fasting and a whole food diet. I'm a 30-year-old primary care physician. So there were 3 major components to how I lost all the weight. The first was finding the right motivation. If you can't come up with a good enough reason to make a major life change like this, it'll be impossible for you to commit. The second and third pieces of the puzzle were intermittent fasting and a whole food diet with no processed carbohydrates. It was when my sister was diagnosed with an aggressive, rare form of cancer that I decided to change my life. Once I made the black and white decision to stop being unhealthy, I everything else just fell into place. I first started losing weight by calorie counting with MyFitnessPal. It's an app for iPhone and Android that basically allows you to calculate how many calories you can consume per day in order to lose 1 or 2 pounds per week. Every time I went down a shirt size or a pant size, it was a huge motivating factor for me. There's nothing better than donating trash bags full of your old clothes.
Wow.
Always look forward towards your next goal and never look back.
Wow. That's really inspiring, man, to see that it transformed like that, man. And we want to break down some of the highlights and keys to his journey.
Q, he said he looked forward to giving away his old clothes.
Oh man, and I can identify with that. I had to do the same thing. I had to do the same exact thing. So I can identify with that.
You know what, man? I know you did, brother, and I'm so happy for you to have that feeling, and I know that you want to pass that feeling on to other people as well. So
absolutely. That's
let's dissect him real fast. 3 components he talked about, Q.
Oh, the first one was he found his reason why. And folks, when you find your reason why in anything, it can motivate you. In his case, his sister died of cancer, and his lifestyle became depressing, and he gained a lot of weight and became very unhealthy. So he then motivated himself by finding his reason why. Lenny, talk about number 2.
Number 2, I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting because this guy didn't start with intermittent fasting. Now, this is really something very interesting to me. He didn't start his diet with intermittent fasting. He started with some other diet. He lost about 40 pounds, but he said his diet stalled, which means, and that's what happens with most diets.
Yes, because they are diets. Because they're diets.
You hit some type of plateau where it's hard for you to lose, much more weight, that type. And that's what happened to this guy, Kevin. So he started intermittent fasting. I got somebody turned to him and said, well, try this, because he wasn't at his goal list at that point. So he tried it and he started losing a lot more, up to about an additional 85 pounds is what this cat continued to lose. And this was really interesting too as well, Keith. He did not start exercising until late in the process.
Yes. So in other words, he lost the balance, the bulk, the vast majority of his weight without even exercising. That's the crazier part about intermittent fasting. And one of the things we try to emphasize that it's going to work. It's better if you exercise, but it'll work whether you exercise or not, to be honest with you. Now let me talk about that last segment right there.
It says most people overtrain. You cannot out-exercise a poor diet.
Say it again.
Most people overtrain, thinking that they can just exercise away weight loss, fat, and everything else. The science just don't work like that. You can't out-exercise a poor diet. So if you really 80% get your diet together, because it's going to help you with the weight, it's going to help you with your overall health, your inflammation and everything else. And then you can add some exercise in. Number 3, man, is something that I am still learning, and this is like my thing for 2020, Q.
Yes.
That he ate a whole food diet. Now, I know what you're saying, well, it's only food. So what else? No, he only ate food, real food that was in its most natural state. So that means he eliminated junk food, processed foods, and that type of thing. And we're going to hit on that in a little bit as we get to the next couple slides. Last thing, number 3.
Breaking old myths of eating. Was your mama right?
Yep, was mama right? Did she tell you how to eat 3 meals a day or 6 meals and all of that good stuff? Let's check out a good mentor of mine, Carlo Macafecklin. on his super tips. He talks about the myth of 6 meals and how to speed up your results when you intermittent fast. Check it out.
Once you stop snacking and you want to speed up your weight loss even more, you want to start incorporating time-restricted eating, also known as intermittent fasting. And I talk about this in further detail in a lot of my other videos, so make sure you check that out. But here's all you need to know. This is the complete opposite of eating 6 meals a day, which is based on nothing but bro science, and I'll explain why in a second. So if you shorten your eating window, you put yourself in a restricted time eating pattern, you're giving your body time to use stored energy, aka body fat, because you're allowing your insulin levels to get really low. And again, that only happens when you don't eat. This is how we evolve as human beings. Body fat is literally stored energy waiting to be used, but you only get access to it if you lower your insulin levels. I told you, it's not just calories in, calories out. And this is one of my favorite questions to ask anybody. And I ask this question on every video. What do you think will happen if you don't eat? What do you think will happen if you take a break from eating? You're going to lose weight. I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. The minimum effective dose, by the way, when it comes to time restricted eating, is a 16-hour fast. So you have a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour eating window. And the easiest way to do this, honestly, is to just skip breakfast, because breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. If that is news to you, well, now you know. And by the way, just to shed some light on how this whole eating 6 meals a day came to fruition, it's based on the thermic effect of food. So it's the energy required for digestion, absorption, and disposal of the ingested nutrients. It's based on the fact that you need to eat food and you're relying on your body to use up some calories to burn it. Basically, you're eating in order to lose weight. That is literally the world's greatest oxymoron. How about this? How about you just don't eat, or you eat in a smaller eating window? To me, that sounds like a better deal. Just don't ingest any calories. Use your own body fat for energy instead.
Wow.
Now, this guy is, he's a YouTuber. He runs what's called the Newbie Fitness Academy. I mean, he's on YouTube all the time. I mean, I've been studying a lot of people like Edward V that has Fledged Fitness. We highlighted him a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And, Thomas DeLauer, who's a good ketogenic guy and a good, great information about fasting as well. But Carlo talks about one thing is to stop snacking.
Yes.
Now, Q, I was a snacker.
Oh man, me, so was I, man.
I saw a bag of chips.
I couldn't stop snacking.
Man, Doritos, Fritos, anything.
Yeah, chips and chocolate chip cookies, brother.
Oh my goodness. But you gotta stop that. And what's number 2 he talked about, Q? Why don't you break this slide?
That 6 meals a day thing. Now remember, people were pushing this eating 6 meals a day diet plan. And he called it broke science, and that's exactly what it is. And there's a reason why we say it's a broke science, because if you're eating constantly all day, you're constantly spiking your insulin levels all day long. So you can never get into fat burning mode. Never get into, see, that's just what we're talking about. Shortening your eating window allows you to get to ketosis, which allows you to burn fat, which means you're burning fat as stored energy waiting to be, all your fat is stored energy waiting to be used. When you're burning that, you're losing weight. It's as simple as that. And you can't do that if you're eating 6 times a day. Insulin levels are always going to be raised. In order to gain access to your lower insulin levels, you just have to stop some of the eating. Lenny, talk about breakfast and the myths about breakfast.
When I got a good friend of mine. He always say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. and I mean, that's his slogan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's not. I hate to break it to him, but anyway, breakfast. If you look at the word that's in this picture, it says break fast. Listen to that 1 second. Breakfast. They say breakfast, but it's really break fast.
Yes.
That's what it is. So it could be any time of the day. And the people that really pushed breakfast is the most important meal of the day was the people that sold breakfast food.
Exactly, Kellogg's and the likes of those.
Exactly.
CW Post and people of that nature.
Yeah.
They're the ones who want to push breakfast being the most important meal of the day because it lines their pockets.
Advertisers, you know what I mean? So,
yes.
You can skip breakfast, but if you like the foods that's in breakfast at that time of the day, or those foods that's included in the breakfast, just push it back to 12 noon.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. To help you get to that 16 days.
Yes.
Now, I've got a bonus screen tonight, Q. I want to talk about a couple things that's near and dear before we wrap it up. But tonight's bonus is about your feeding window.
Yes.
And this is because I just said this is really like my challenge for this year for me, is to try to only eat real food items. Now, I'm not going to be perfect, and I don't expect anybody to be perfect, but if you really want to accelerate your results with intermittent fasting, start to eat proteins, veggies, and fruits. And if you're hungry, just eat some extras. If you got to eat extra of it to satiate you, to get you to that point, then do that. It's much better for you to eat extra real food, whole food items, than it is to eat junk foods, those chips, cookies, and snacky things that we used to do, Q, that really, you know, kept the pounds on us. The other thing is to decrease eating food-like substances. Now, food-like substances, I mean, it's really not real foods when you start thinking about chips, candy.
They're not whole foods.
No, man. They stay in your system longer. They're harder to break down. Your body has to work much more trying to get them out your system, to eliminate them. So, you know, real foods, you know, the one I said, try to eat real foods, they go in your system, they take the nutrients and they come out of your system. That's what they're supposed to do. These food-like substances, man, they just stick around. They come out in all kinds of ways. Inflammation, you know, bumps on your acne, all kinds of things, pains in your joints, headaches, you know, all kinds of things is what they come out as, and because it's hard for them to get out your system. And I always say, anything with a long shelf life shortens your life.
Yeah, because lots of times there are a lot of added preservatives to that in order to give it that long shelf life. And those things are, for the most part, you can count on them not being good for you.
And Q, you talk about this because you always put your foods on Facebook all the time.
Well, control what you eat, and a great way to control what you eat is cook more often. Now, I know everybody's not a great cook, and you don't have to be a great cook to control what you eat. But cook more often. Even like I said, if you're not a great cook, you can develop that skill as well. And be particular when you're ordering out. Now, during this pandemic, there hasn't been a lot of people going to restaurants, but people are ordering out and getting takeout food. Be more selective even when you do that. You know, those restaurants will still deliver salads and broccoli and vegetables and lean meats and chicken and everything else. Just because you're ordering out doesn't mean it has to be laden with gravy and fats and things of that nature. So just be a little more selective. Even when you're going to get that Chinese food, you know, order some shrimp and broccoli. Order shrimp and broccoli, okay?
Let's recap tonight, Q, before we close out here. Couple things, reminders. Shorten your eating window so you can get into ketosis. Ketosis is a state where you go from burning glucose from your liver to adipose tissue, and it starts to burn fat. Another one, get your insulin levels below so that you can hit baseline level.
Yes. 6 meals, frequent eating, that's a myth. We want to stay away from that. We want to stay away from that as much as possible. It takes about 10 to 12 hours to use up the glycogen. That's the food after you've had a meal. For some folks, it can happen faster than that. And with the 16-8 method, you can get usually a minimum of 4 hours of fat burning in, which is great. And during your feeding window, try to eat real whole food, not a lot of processed stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you're never going to do that, but try to do it as much as possible. Let me take the last one.
Exercise, although it is very important, and y'all see us exercising all the time, it's really only 20% the answer. Q, you know what I use exercise for?
What's that?
When I overindulge sometimes. But some nights I might, especially because I do drink wine and beer sometimes. So if I have a couple extra beers or something like, that's when I'm burning some of that extra off. And that's how I use it when I go hard.
And we all use exercise for different reasons. I told you people that I use exercise. Actually, my exercise that's my thinking. I use it more physically and mentally as well. It's a time I like to think and meditate and things of that nature. So exercise is important though. I don't want to write it off as something that you shouldn't be doing because it is important, but in proper ratio. Don't overtrain because you're not helping yourself when you do so.
If you guys got any questions, just hit them in the comment section. If not, we're going to thank y'all for jumping on again. It's always our pleasure. Flower Blossom, you laughing. I don't know what you're laughing at. I hope you're not laughing about me drinking my wine and beer. Lisa Rivera, thanks for jumping on tonight.
Wanda Burton, thank you again.
Cassandra, my sister-in-law, thanks for joining. Eddie Bryant.
Teresa Davis, thank you for watching.
Brian Brown, Joe Cobb, Annette Evans, Rodney Barnes, Debbie Wilkerson,
Roger Parker, yeah, and many others. Lenny Rice, Carlos Rice, and many others. We thank you all for joining us tonight. If there are any topics in particular that you want us to talk about, please let us know in the comments below. And if you have any additional questions, you can ask those, and we'll answer them off when we go off the show. Okay, we will get back to you and answer those questions.
Q, you normally do a watch party the next day, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so for those of y'all that might want somebody else to see it, just watch Q's watch party tomorrow. Usually hits sometime in the AM. And until tomorrow, peace and love.
Everybody be good.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.